Hello and welcome everyone. CADL presents the 22nd annual Buckhorn Open, and we couldn't be any more happy to be bringing you this coverage. Our main event sponsors for this tourney are Fit Inspired Living in North Carolina and Be Good Realty. Big shout out to them. Today in the booth, I got the very talented Scott Conway, who shot a 1060 round, 11 down, second round, and has a one-stroke lead over Evan Smith and Jake Hebenheimer, and a four-stroke lead over Tim Mclane. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic, Raivis. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm just so happy you're here. I'm happy I was part of this event. I want to thank Lou, everybody else that was volunteering and there as a player. I think this is a great invitation to North Carolina for me. And let's take a look at the hot scores coming off second round. 1060 for you, sir. Oh my goodness. That must have felt good.
Yeah, it felt great. Almost bogey free, but 11 down on this track is really good.
You know any of those guys?
I know all of those guys, man. Two of the other three guys are local to North Carolina. Tim here is, local to the Raleigh area. Evan's pretty local, and Hebenheimer's the only implant from out of Missouri.
And here you are on hole one, 609 feet, par four. They moved the pin on us on the third day here, probably 300 feet to the right and pushed back. What are you throwing here?
This is a jawbreaker zone. Just trying to get a straight shot, so I have a look down that mouth where it bends to the right.
It's just not an easy tee shot.
It looks really easy off the tee pad, and it really is not. You're right. It's tough.
Evan looks like he was in a pretty prime spot, though. He got enough forward momentum with a little bit of fade to the right.
For sure. If you have the forehand and the power to get to that corner, that's the best play. Jake is going to end up in a similar spot to me, but just a little bit further left and shorter.
And here's Tim with his Fusion Felon, also hitting the tree. But being a par four, you should be able to save your par here as long as you're in a really good space for the third shot, I think.
Yeah, for sure. You can see him right there in the middle. He doesn't really have a whole lot in his way. He's probably, if I know Tim well enough, he's going to make a smart choice and just kind of have a position play here.
Yeah, throwing his classic blend ward in there. And one thing we haven't talked about yet is that it was chilly. It's only 40 degrees, and this is February that we're playing right now.
Yep. Welcome to the Buckhorn Open. It is always cold. And honestly, I said this at the tournament, this is still the best conditions that we've ever had for the Buckhorn Open. Usually, I've seen snow at this tournament during the rounds. Ice on the ground, rain, cold. We got actually pretty fortunate, even though it was still rather chilly out there.
And here's a good glance of what the hole will look like if you're in a good spot for your third shot. Tim is just going to make it textbook, hyzer right into the putting green.
Yep, just not making it too difficult to start. And as you can see, this is where Evan landed off of the tee. He's going to have a pretty not super easy. He's a little bit on the right side, but Evan's a high caliber player. He's going to make something work here probably.
Yeah.
And yep. That's about what you're looking for.
Beautiful shot. Might be a little short because it does go down into that dip another 60 feet after that left turn. And you're kind of in an awkward spot here, and I believe you're going to be throwing your link here, right?
That was a link.
Oh, nice. Discmania.
Yeah, Discmania link. And that's what I'll be putting with as well. I just I switched to those the Friday before the tournament started.
I remember you telling me that in the first round when we played together, and I loved that. I thought it was hilarious, but also amazing that you're playing so well.
Well, it's the closest that I found to what I used to putt with, and it's got a pretty deep dish, a nice bead, and good glide, nice neutral putter. I'm really enjoying the link. I just moved to an open bag at the beginning of this year, so the putter was probably the most difficult to replace.
Mm. It's definitely hard to find a good putter that you like. Looks like a lot of pars and one bogey. Not the worst hole, but averaging 4.37. It's definitely the most difficult of the day for you guys.
For sure. Yep. It's it's that to get to the bend where it dog legs to the right is the most difficult part. And then getting down there to the green is difficult too. The entryway to the green is rather tight.
Absolutely. Now, hole 2, it's 303 feet, averaging 2.93. So right in the middle of the mix there. What are you throwing here?
This is a MVP Matrix.
I love
nice
that.
Yeah, just a little slight stand up with some good low speed stability. It's kind of what you want here. Those trees right there to the right that I just barely miss are, they're very deceptive. It looks like they're not in the way, but they really are.
Very iconic hole, too, with that bending tree there.
Yeah, you come to Buckhorn, you remember this hole. And that's one of the reasons why. I don't know. This mid-range, he's going to throw that mid-range quite a bit today. I believe it's a butter. He really likes to lean on that particular mid-range, and he throws it well.
And he must be Mr. Clash, right? Or representing.
He is sponsored by Clash. Yep. He's also sponsored by Peterman Realty, which is a local realty company in the Raleigh area.
Well, thank you, Peterman Realty, for also helping with the T-Sign sponsorship.
Yeah, if you need a house and you live in the Triangle, go see Austin Peterman for sure. Great guy.
And do you know what Jake's throwing here?
Jake, I believe, is throwing. It's either a harp or a trust. I believe.
You got up
not
to
100% on that. Yeah, Jake throws the disc hard. You pay attention, he throws the disc really hard.
So I didn't know who Jake was, and I'll be honest, I had to look him up on YouTube, and of course, all these pros you can pretty much find on YouTube any day now. But I saw that he played in Dynamic Disc Open, and he was on like the second or third card last year. He was performing really well out there.
Jake is a really great disc golfer. I think he's only 24 years old, 23 or 24. Heyo.
Yeah, great
putt to start it.
Yeah, and that was not a give me. That was probably a little further than it looked like on camera when you were off the tee there. So you were outside the circle. That must feel great because that basket's a little slanted too.
that basket does not like to catch very well, but yeah, I was really excited to catch that one to get the momentum started.
And here's Jake showing off his unique putting form.
That horseshoe putt is very unique. He started using that at the beginning of 2022, I believe. And he says he likes it because it's more consistent than the way he used to putt. And that's the key on the disc golf course is consistency.
No, absolutely. And thank you, Fit Inspired Living, for bringing us that awesome hole to watch. A couple birdies there.
Oh, yeah. If you're in the Raleigh area, go check them out, too. They're also local to the Raleigh area.
Thoughts on hole 3, Scott? And what are you throwing before we get to hole 3 thoughts?
So that is a ESP PB zone. And I'm taking the road less traveled, trying to take that inside line. your camera gave us a great angle on that. Most people are going to try and do what Evan's going to do here. This is a splice right here that he's throwing.
He's throwing some Discmania as well. Yeah, he got pretty far up there. Maybe 40?
Yeah, he's... Man, I really wish I could remember this round better. I think
I know it's been a little bit.
He may be a little bit closer than that, but I thought he got up there. Jake pipes the backhand line. I think he catches a little something late there. That was a pure, I believe.
And you were saying you were taking the inside lane more because there is a little bit of an outside lane that I think Jake was taking there.
Most people are taking that outside left side. I mean, everybody that saw me take that inside line looked at me funny, and I was like, "It's there. I've played here enough to know that it's there."
That's funny. And here's with this Warden.
Tim's got a really nice spin putt, and we'll see him, give some good runs and make some really good putts here during this round. He's got a great spin putt. Get up. I gave it my best effort. I had to work around that tree.
That didn't look easy.
So yeah, here's Evan from, like you said, about 50 and smash. Man,
wow.
He's dangerous when the putter gets hot.
That's a sniper. That's like a sniper type putt right there.
Dude, it's always like that too, man. Evan's got a phenomenal putt. It's just very direct. It does not move a lot.
So par for you. Yep. One birdie. That hole averaged 2.93, so it played just the same as hole 2, surprisingly.
Wow, that is surprising.
And hole 4, the first par 4 of the day, 486 feet. Bending to the right and then back to the left, narrowing in the gap. Sponsored by Bond Brothers. Evan getting a pretty nice pull on here, and the secret is to make it bend a little more right, because you do not want to be left. I think he landed a perfect spot.
I believe he did as well. Yeah, that was a great drive. I'm going back to this vault here. I'm going to try and just kind of start it out left on a little bit of Anheuser and drag it back to the middle, have it finish flat. Maybe if I get lucky, maybe a little hyzer skip up in there. Yeah. You see, I'm like, it's okay.
Yes. And it was almost very reminiscent of the first round I played with you. You landed a pretty similar spot. And you told me right is good or right is fine.
Yes.
So.
Yes. You're right. The miss, like we're going to see here how difficult it is for Jake. And just like the first round that I played with you, I believe I'm going to throw the same exact upshot. I'm not going to spoil that because this is also.
Well, that was his evader, Tim off the tee there. And Jake is going to try to get creative here.
Honestly, he probably would have been better off to pitch back to the middle.
Do you think you would have done that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So here is a PB zone on a thumber line.
Who throws a zone on a thumber line? That is awesome.
Do.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I throw overhands, and it's not easy to throw a slow disc like that on a thumber line. So that was kudos to you. That was a great shot.
Shout out to Schwebby for telling me to go out in the field and throw all of my disc on a thumber line to learn what they fly like. That's how I discovered that shot.
Interesting.
Here's Evan making this hole look just as easy as possible.
Textbook. And here's Jake to save his par. Take a look at this.
Oh, I stand corrected. Maybe he was better off doing that.
I couldn't
Aggressive
believe
line
he
through the woods.
saved his par. 60-footer, it looked like.
Dude, and from playing with Jake enough, man, when he goes to that stepper with the horseshoe, he is quite deadly.
Why was I not invited? Who told me that there
And
was
he's
a
right. This
party?
whole average 3.79, so it's pretty much a birdie fest for you guys out there.
Wow, I'm surprised that 2 and 3 averaged closer to par than this one. That's kind of surprising to me because I feel like it's a rather difficult hole.
I think people got it after the first 2 days. Maybe that's
That
the
makes
secret.
sense.
Yeah, they corrected themselves. Hole 5, 282 feet, carries a little downhill. Pretty straight shot. You're going to throw your putter here, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what this disc is. Oh, so this is me going back to that same PB zone, and I just kind of overcooked it a little bit. Got caught up on that right side.
Now, are you thinking about scores at this moment? Yes, or like at all? Checking scores?
No, you'll rarely ever, and I just shy away from saying never because once in a while I do, but I rarely ever look at scores. I just want to play disc golf until there's no more golf to be played and see what happens. That's kind of how I play the game. Kind of helps me just stay in the moment and focus on the shot at hand.
Yeah, no, you got to be present, and we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Now, can you sense if people are getting close to you or not?
For sure. I mean, I kind of know, I can kind of sense how everybody else is playing, and I can definitely sense how I'm playing. If I'm on a
Great
roll
putt.
and I'm just great putt from Jake again with that stepper. If I'm on a roll, I just kind of, I won't even worry about what everybody else is doing. But if I'm kind of struggling here and there, then that those thoughts will creep into my head, like, well, they've been birdieing a lot, and I've kind of been flat. But for the most part, yeah, just play, see what happens. Evan again, just birdie fest at this point in the round.
He's such a smooth putter. I haven't seen him play before, and this is my first time watching, and he's really good.
That's when he's doing that. That's when those thoughts creep into your head. You're like, man, he's just lighting it up.
That's why I had to ask, because I didn't see you check scores when you and I played. So, third round when more is on the line. It's interesting to know that you're still sort of making sure that you're not checking and you're playing, being presently. So
I think it helps a lot. Yeah, I know. I've talked to other players about checking scores and stuff like that, and they tend to, it tends to creep into their head where they tend to get more aggressive or less aggressive, or they tend to make more mistakes. You introduce tension into your body when you're worried about something other than what's right in front of you. And that's, well, looks like we had a couple of good shots off the tee. Evans in scramble mode over here.
And this is one of the harder holes. It looks like off the tee, one of the harder holes, but it averaged pretty much the same as hole 4, 3.77. So.
Okay. It's really all about the tee shot here. I think if you can get your tee shot into a decent position, then you're gonna be able to.
That was
just
a
throw
miraculous shot. That was a great upshot. What was that there?
That was a K1 line Reco X.
You've thrown every disc in your bag so far already. That's why you love this course.
I tend to like courses that make you throw all the molds in your bag. I mean, I like the challenge of, not throwing the exact same shot over and over and over again. I like these courses with a good variety. That's probably why this track is one of my favorites in the area.
Yeah, it is really good. And Evan with an awesome upshot there, giving himself a par save. Look.
Yeah, that was phenomenal after hitting that early tree on his second shot to give himself a par look.
Jake looking for his par save here. He's already made one of them. Actually, he's made a couple of big long putts. Let's see if he can do one more. Oh my goodness. He's heating up.
Dude, he's not making me eat my words. That stepper is deadly.
And again, first time seeing it, I was like, wait. I had to rewind. I was like, he can't be doing that for all of them. And he was. And as he was going further, it's more impressive as he's going further and further away from the basket.
Yeah, a lot of people said that when he kind of first switched his putt. Everybody was like, is this a good idea? Is this really happening? Is he just doing this for this putt, or is he going to continue to putt like this? It's a very unique putting style. And it works. I mean, kudos for him for sticking with it because it works, and not just because, other people are saying it, because people say it looks funny or weird. It works. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you stick to it if it works. And a rare miss from you, little high.
Yeah. I remember that one now. I was not so excited about that.
Tend to forget
I made
those.
Just a tremendous recovery shot, and then not capitalizing doesn't feel great.
But at least it wasn't for bogey. And here's Jake off a forehand type style hole, or you can go backhand turnover 250 feet. I love this little hole.
It's a neat one, man. Another hole on this track that looks very straightforward, but I've seen people take 4s and 5s on it.
Mm-hmm. And you got a little bit of slant.
The screens slope down. There's like a little ditch collection area to the right that can collect a disc, and there's a bunch of trees in there to make your shot or your putt pretty difficult. Little leg English.
It is averaging one of the easiest holes of the day, tied for one of the easiest at 2.53.
Okay.
And you're throwing MVP glitch?
The glitch, yeah. Dude, one of my favorite new discs.
That
I don't think I've been...
Yeah, that got weird, a reaction. It looked like it kicked off pretty hard.
Yeah. I hadn't been throwing that one for too long. Honestly, a lot of these discs in my bag. I mean, this is February when this tournament went on, and I mean, just about everything in my bag had only been in there for more than maybe like a month. So I was still learning a lot of these discs at this point, but I love the glitch, man. It's a super fun disc to throw.
Well, you're performing at a high caliber for only throwing them for such a short time. It's awesome to watch. And here you are for your birdie save. Let's see if you can. And you've been in some weird putting stances. I mean, even since hole 1.
Yeah, North Carolina golf will produce these types of stances and putts.
No problem.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was a great one. Let's take a replay. Yeah. Look there. Great height there. And that tree was definitely in your way. I'm not gonna. There's no doubt about it.
That tree was almost touching my leg. That was the reason for the straddle out. Tim here.
Tim's solid putter, yeah.
Dude, yeah. He's got such a repeatable motion with his putt.
And probably the most photographed hole at Buckhorn.
Hands down. Cenas out of Jake.
Only 182 feet, but it's got some danger with OB lurking right behind the basket.
Yeah, if you come out here and play a casual round, you'll see people fishing disc out because they threw it too hard.
And shout out to the Sandwich Man for sponsoring this hole as well as feeding all the players between rounds. They were there both days, and I thought they were really good sandwiches, personally.
And what's your play here? Just kind of nice and gentle?
Yeah, so this is a Berg. And I like the Berg because it's a 1-speed and I can kind of throw it a little bit harder than have it just dies. And that's what you need here.
Yeah, you can't have anything that is going to potentially roll and get weird bounces. You want something that just sticks. I've been trying to find a disc that will do that.
Yeah, the 1-speeds, not too many of them out there from every manufacturer, but the Berg is what I've found to be that disc. And for a hole like this, when it's such a short hole for us, really being able to commit to the shot and throw it a little bit harder helps out a lot.
And I will say, the pros, when it comes down to discing down or powering down a little bit with your putter, I mean, it can present some trouble if you have OB right next to the basket. It's tougher sometimes for pros to slow down.
For sure. Right.
Jake, on a roll ever since hole 4.
Evan not slowing down either. Was that a star frame there?
Yes, it was. Yeah. No, Tim missed this putt. No.
Tim, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But Jake's on a roll. I think he's got 4 now. And this could be 5. This is probably the most difficult shot on the course in terms of the tee shot. Wow.
Man, sick shot. Yeah.
This hole is so daunting. I don't know what it is. There's OB short. There's OB long. What are you throwing here?
Yeah. This is a Pyro by MVP. And this will be the second Pyro I lost this weekend. You see me waving by to it.
Oh, it happens to the best of us. I hope you got your disc back. But, I mean, if it just was a little more left, it could have definitely done its thing, come back.
Yeah, I had great success with it during practice, and I just stuck with what worked, and
wow,
I just missed my line by a little bit. Wow.
And Evan made it look really easy there too, because that was a little higher than I was seeing most people throw it.
And I think Jake threw a Glory off the tee. And do you know what this is from
Oh
Tim
my
here?
gosh, he's safe, and it's the SB Quake.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember walking up on this one and us being like, wow, you made it in. That is amazing.
And
scramble mode for me. So PB drawbreaker zone.
Very impressive. Yeah, that's not easy to do from there. Love it.
I don't throw a lot of forehand, so when I throw one that's really good, I get excited.
Yeah, and the scores are tight, so I mean every shot matters coming down to the third round here. So this is to save bogey, right?
That was to save bogey, yeah. Happy to make that one.
Yeah.
Another straddle out with a couple of trees in my way.
Is there any tips that you want to give somebody to become a better putter like you?
These awkward stances that you mentioned, I practice those stances, and I spend a lot of time just practicing putting. And when I do practice putting, I I practice my routine.
Mm.
And I think that's one thing that some people miss when they're doing practice is just practice that routine, because that's what makes you comfortable on the putting green.
It looks like Evan's got a one-stroke lead on you, but you're still right in there going into the back nine. Scott, thank you for staying tuned here and doing commentary with us, and we look forward to finishing off the back nine with you very soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. This is a blast.